On this James the Bike Guy, we're taking a look at the Jamis Durango A2. This is an entry-level hardtail mountain bike that offers some neat features at a reasonable price. And we're gonna go into some of those features as well as check out the design of this bike. And ultimately, we're gonna find out exactly what it weighs. So while we're checking out this bike, be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comment section below and consider subscribing. That way you can see more videos like this into the future. So checking out this Jamis Durango, the first thing to talk about is going to be its frame. In my opinion, this is a pretty good looking entry-level hardtail. You can tell that it's got a little bit more modern geometry, has a reasonable reach to it, and the tube shaping on the bike is pretty neat with these very angular style shapes to them. It's going to have external cable routing, but they do a nice job tucking it underneath the top tube. And as you go down to the back, you've got a pretty stout looking aluminum dropout and a threaded bottom bracket. And in the front, it's set up with an integrated headset on this 1.1/8" head tube, connected up with a 100mm suspension travel fork. The frame itself is made out of 6061 T6 aluminum, and overall I think has a pretty nice shape to it. Now geometry wise, the bike is set up with a 69-degree head tube angle and a 74-degree seat tube angle. And something that I think is pretty neat and not all the brands do is that head tube and seat tube angle is the exact same on all sizes. The other neat thing is the chainstay length on the bike is going to be 450 millimeters. And with those numbers combined, it should make the bike handle pretty well for either being a great all-around bicycle or a tool to get you into mountain biking. Now the fork on the front is going to be an SR Suntour XCE 28. This is a coil spring fork. It's got 28mm stanchions, and then it's going to have preload adjustments on the top to be able to adjust kind of that off the top feel. The spacing on the bike is standard quick release, both on the front and the rear, making it easy to take the wheels off. And speaking of the wheels, these are going to be Alex TD26 rims. These are 32 holes, double walled, and they're running 14 gauge spokes down to these 6-bolt hubs. For a drivetrain, this bike is set up with a 2x drivetrain. So what a 2x means is it's going to run 2 rings up front, and then this particular model is going to have 8 gears in the rear. So you're running a Shimano Tourney TX rear derailleur. This rear derailleur is operating a Shimano HG31 cassette with an 11 to 32 range. And then as you go up front, this 2x crankset is going to be forged alloy arms on a square taper bottom bracket that's threaded into the frame with an Altus front derailleur. That drivetrain should give plenty of range out on the trail or commuting or playing around in town. And then it's going to go to these combo integrated shift and brake levers. So this is pretty neat for packaging and making it look real nice. Although sometimes I prefer when they have the shifter and the brakes separately, just in case one were to get damaged, you don't have to replace both at once. But this is going to have hydraulic brakes, and then the shifters are going to be actuated with a thumb to go to an easier gear, index finger to go to a harder gear on the rear, and then of course the opposite on the front. Now those hydraulic levers operate some Shimano MT200 hydraulic disc brakes with a 160 rotor, both front and rear. So now that we've taken a look at some of the features and style of this bike, let's go ahead and find out what this Jamis Durango A2 weighs. The actual weight of this Jamis Durango A2 is going to come in at 31.70 pounds. Thanks so much for watching this video on the Jamis Durango A2. Go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. While you're at it, be sure to leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can learn about more bikes, parts, and DIYs like this in the future.